What may appear as a new twist to the number of people killed during the #EndSARS protest in Lagos State, information has emerged that many more people may have died than the number officially declared. The Lagos State government had confirmed 2 deaths among the protesters in Lekki. The Lagos Chief Coroner, Mojisola Dada, in a public notice seen on Thursday, asked those whose family members went missing between October 19th and 27th to come and claim their corpses with necessary identification. Families of missing persons in Lagos have been granted 2-week access to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT, for possible identification for their missing family members. Dada said the families were free to visit the mortuary for inspection of corpses from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. during the stipulated period. The next of kin will be required to provide means of identification of themselves and their loved ones. Nationally recognized means of identification such as international passports, driver's license, national ID card, or LASRA ID card shall be accepted. Only the parents, siblings, or children in that decreasing order of preference are expected to come to LASUT. The profile will be compared with those already collected at autopsy from the deceased. It is only after definitive scientific identification that the bodies of the deceased shall be released by the office of the chief coroner to the next of kin for burial, part of the notice read. The Lagos coroner's notice came amid reports that some people went missing after the 2-week-long #EndSARS protest in the state. It's unclear where the corpses were picked from or how they got to the mortuary, but there were reports that some protesters were killed and their bodies allegedly taken away by soldiers during the alleged shooting incident at the Lekki toll gate. People were said to have been killed in parts of Lagos during the protests and the ensuing violence. Well, if anybody is looking for maybe any of his family members, it is just for them to just go and check. It could be from the #EndSARS protest, it could not be, but let them just go and check. But all we know is that a lot of things really happened. A lot of things are hidden. A lot of things happened during that protest. A lot of things happened. But let people go there and make inquiries and see what actually happened. One cannot rule it out. We can't just rule it out. They should come back and protest, Abby. There are always unclaimed corpses in the morgues from time immemorial. Yes, that's why people need to go there and find out and know exactly what happened. But are there always announcements to go and claim? They made the statement because a lot was deposited there between that stipulated time, Oga. So people still didn't believe people were killed in Lekki. Well, some people don't believe. If the government does not believe, you think people will believe? People refuse to accept the fact that bloodshed violently, unjustly, and any bloodletting by any human cries unto God for vengeance. It may take time. You may do everything to cover up. Its voice shall never go uncovered. Haters, even those that died in accident without the knowledge of their people since 5 to 10 years ago, oh, now EndSARS. That is why they let them go and check. What is your problem? Let them go and check. With all the things that are happening now, it is good for people to know what is happening. If it is not, they will know. They will still report the whole thing. If they go there and find out eventually that it was among the EndSARS protesters, fine. If it is not, they will still say it. So there's no harm in making that announcement. But some people are just bent on not want to accept that such thing that happened at Lekki really happened. They don't want to believe that. Who brought it to the mortuary? I thought nobody died. Chop the corpses. So Lagos State government can now accept that people really died. What are they going to arrest their families for? Alleged Lekki killing. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said this morning on Arise TV that he asked for where the corpses of those who were reportedly shot dead at Lekki toll gate were deposited, and up till now, those corpses are nowhere to be found. He explained further how he directed Lagos State Commissioner for Health to locate the mortuary where the corpses were deposited, only for the commissioner to report back to him that no mortuary in Lagos State received any dead body from Lekki Tollgate. The questions now are: 1. Where are the parents of the acclaimed 79 dead bodies? 2. Are they being buried? If yes, where? Meanwhile, some people that have earlier been reportedly died have started debunking their deaths on their various Twitter handles. Insincere governments waiting for people to come up so as to arrest the family members of the hashtag #EndSARS. See the way Nigerians are still thinking. Of course, because there's no honesty, there's no truth in most of the things, even from the top. So that is why people can preempt the government, people can begin to think this way or that way. And that was why you see that during the protest, people said, oh, we don't have leaders, everybody is a leader, because they were looking for people. Now, since they could not even get through to that, then they began to arrest anybody who is arrestable. So when the system, the so-called leadership dwells on lies, if there's anything, if you have never even accepted or agreed that the government have not been truthful in most of the things they do, just ask this incident. The army said they are not happy with the governor, denying the fact that he invited them. The governor said, I didn't know anything about it. I said they are not happy. Now the army said they were not there. They didn't send anybody. Later they now agreed that they were there, but they didn't do this. You know, from that level, it's just like children who are just little children who are just playing and just tossing themselves around. That is exactly what they were doing. You can imagine a whole country going back and forth with the people who are saddled with the responsibility of taking care of the people, and you expect people to believe them, and you expect people not to think otherwise. So everybody is just calculating, everybody is just suspecting everybody. Even youth here are celebrating the death of their own fellow Nigerians. Shame on all of you that brought this problem upon Nigeria. Why is the notice coming now after all the shout about some people missing? Too much insincerity. Make them chop them. Of course, if the government is not coming from the angle of openness and sincerity, then you don't expect the citizens to believe them. Even when they come out to say the truth, people will not still believe them. People will not still believe them. In this whole matter, they've already, from the beginning, they messed up the whole thing. But those who are still adamant, who are still bent on not believing what happened, even with the report from the CNN, some people are still like, oh, yeah, it is not true, it is a doctor, this thing. Of course, let them continue with their unbelief. But one thing is that you can't tell yourself, you can't lie to yourself, because your conscience will continue to prick you. But some people just want to, like, oh, we just have to debunk it, we don't want to accept it, and that's it. We are just going to be on the side of the government, whether they are paid by the government or they are just trying to be ignorant. I don't just understand. But some people are just bent on not seeing the truth because they don't want to believe. Some people are like, oh, should I believe or should I not believe? But like, by and large, let people who are really looking for their loved ones, let them go to the mortuary and find out whether it's related to the answers of a thing. There's no harm in trying. It could be from the answers protest, it might not be, but let them go. But some people say, oh, don't go, because they're looking for ways to even arrest the family members. Of course, you can't even dispute that. Everybody has to be careful because everyone is living under fear in this country. So guys, let's say your opinion, leave a comment below, and let's have your take on this. Thank you.